Okay, so if the finger's feeling it, give them a little bit of a wiggle. Richard Clayderman and thumbs. Whatever happened to him? Okay, so we want shoulders down, and don't have the ring out like that with shoulders hunched, because you really will feel it in all the wrong places. So your shoulders are relaxed, a slight bend in your elbows, and all we're going to do is just simply put pressure into the band. So just squeezing, not trying to meet in the middle unless you're Superwoman, of course. The hands are flat, so you're not gripping, you're just using the palm, and then nice and slow to start. So you push and out. So you should feel that all up here and across the chest and your biceps. So the ring should be, top of the ring should be about chin level if you've got your shoulders relaxed. If you're looking through it, you're definitely shoulders too high. So down here. Back nice and straight, and if you can't get a straight back, then stand or be on your knees. Okay. Just stop in the middle and pause. Okay, so you're just squeezing it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then little pulses. 1, 2. I'm not going to count, not going to tell you how many I'm doing. And one final squeeze. Your arms should be shaking, the band should be shaking, and release. You've got to stop calling it a band. That's it. And give those hands a shake. All right, let's just do some triceps. Hopefully your hands will just about be able to do a couple more until we have a little bit of a break from it. So you're going to just bring the band behind. So tapping the back, tapping the top of your back. You want to try and keep the elbows forward as much as possible and not moving them. So you just lift the band so it's a halo, of course, because we're angels. And then just tap your back and up again. If that's uncomfortable, obviously don't go as far back, then have your elbows more out. You could do a much smaller movement. See, look, do your innocent little smile as the band comes above your head. And then you're the fallen angel as it goes back. So as much as possible, have those elbows forward. I know it's in, you can't have them right forward because of the width of the band, but I'm not even applying that much pressure to the band. It's just purely the motion of my arms going back and forward. And also as if you're lifting, so you're not just bending and straightening. It was almost as if you're lifting that band when you come up. That's going to make a difference. I don't think you could squeeze in that band much if you wanted to. And last one. Bring those arms down. Let's definitely have an arm stretch after that. Yeah, feeling it in my arms. Okay, so roll the shoulders first. Bring the arm across the chest, just as we did at the beginning. And then bring it right out, stretch it back. And back down, other one. So when you do stretch it back, try and keep your body forward, don't twist with it, just bring the arm all the way back, because if you're trying to touch someone behind you. Lovely. And then give the hands a shake. All right, now this next one, you've got to play around with it. I'm thinking Thelma, really. I don't know if you remember me saying when we used to do back in the day hall classes, but when your knees hurt, you can fold your mat in the middle, because we're going to be on our knees. Now, it's not just a question of you being on your knees that might be dodgy, it's the whole thing that we're going to do. So if you decide that you'll feel a bit wobbly and you're not secure enough, then I just want you to come down, and I want you to do everything on your side like we normally would, because we're going to do a lot of the exercises, side kick, etc., on our knees with this as a prop. So it's advanced stuff. Okay, so let's just test it out, and then you can decide if it's for you or not. And then Thelma, the way that we add extra padding is to grab the mat like that and fold it in the middle, and you've got loads of padding underneath your knees. She's got the extra prop, lovely. All right, I'm going to ditch my mat so you can see me. All right, so let's all do the same side so we remember what we're doing. We're going to go to the left. Mind you, we're doing this straight away on the other side as well. Okay, so your hips might be feeling it from what we've done, so it may be because of that you don't feel happy to do them. So I think the first thing we'll do is obviously knees hip width, make sure the core's on, and I'm going to just lean over to one side and bring my leg out. And if you feel happy with that position, then hopefully you're good to go. All right, so now I just want you to bring the ring further out, okay, and then bend the knee. If you can, you're just going to lift that knee. So it's like you're doing a dog wee. So I've got my foot on the floor, it's coming up. All I'm doing is lifting my foot with my knee bent. Okay, so let me show you. So Jack or anyone else, if you don't like this, come onto your side and do them like we normally do. Okay, as a side leg series. Because this is, you know, obviously you're totally destabilised with this. You're having to use your core much more, and your hip is having to work really hard to lift that leg. Okay, so it's not for everyone. But what I like about this is the kind of interway between doing it like that. So it means that you'll be able to advance onto that. All right, about to get harder. Whenever you want, you come up and you rest that hip. All right, now we're going to do it with straight legs. So the first one's quite nice. All you're going to do is trace a half circle. So I'm just going to, with my foot on the floor, come forward, but you can feel your core going crazy, and then bring your leg back to centre and maybe a little bit further back. So just tracing the line there and back. I can really feel that in my hips. If you've got anything that doesn't feel good, that feels like, you know, intense pain or whatever, then you can either come all the way down here, which is less harsh on the hip, or lie down. Okay, and again, come up whenever you need to. If you're lying on your side, you can carry on because you don't need the rest in between. All right. Okay, so one on from that would be to have that foot lifted slightly. So it's a side kick using the ring. All right, so maybe if you need to have less pressure on the hip, you can press the ring down so you're activating the arm as well. Ooh, do it really slowly to start. Well done. And if you don't like the side kicks, that's very difficult, is maybe just do straight leg raises. Okay, so they're slightly easier. That side kick really puts you off balance. That's why we're only doing a couple of them. Oh, and down. All right, come back up, ditch the ring, do some hula hooping. They are really hard on that poor hip. Okay, take your time to do these. All right, just really push forward and to the sides, and just side to side. Okay, let's get the torture done the other side. Might be better one side. That was my sort of bad hip, so maybe you can feel that it's better one side to the other. All right, so you've got the band out, make sure it's straight down, and then we'll do the dog wheeze first. So keep your foot on the floor, knee lifted, and then you just lift the foot up and down. Yeah, it's much better for me this side. Make sure the core's on to help you steady. A little bit of pressure on the band, although when you do, that's when it starts shaking. Lovely. Okay, one more. If you need to come up and loosen the hip, then please do. And the next one is to trace the leg. All right, so with your leg out straight, tracing forward, back to centre, and then maybe a little bit back. This is the nicest one, really. Lovely. Same for you, Thelma. That's lovely. Yeah, when we have a rest, just stay as you are. Carry on, Thelma. Perfect. One more of those. If you need to, come up, shake the hips. And then the last one is either leg raises or a bit of forward and back. I think I'll do a bit of everything. Damn rings. Okay, so even if your foot was skimming the floor, that is totally fine. It's not about how high you lift, that's the fact that you're off the floor. Much steadier this side. Hopefully you can feel that one side's better than the other. Maybe a few leg lifts. bet everyone's thinking, oh, Pilates rings, I love them. And now you're thinking, God's sake, I hate them. So come on to all fours and just do your cat thing. So dipping, because they look so sweet, don't they, the rings? Oh, nice, but no. Instruments of torture. All right, make sure when you're in that cat stretch, arching up, you really stay there, stretch, stretch, stretch. And if you want to, you can push back into child's pose now with your arms down by your sides, palms up, knees wide. While I have a look at what's next. Sorry, it was Halloween yesterday. Okay, I think we need a spine stretch with our ring again. So just sitting up, I just need to grab something. Where's my iPad? So you're sitting upright, legs in front, you're just holding on to the ring to do a spine stretch. It's nice to hook it around the feet like that, yeah, like Lillian's already doing. It's lovely to do that because you can just get a stretch on the back of those legs. Just reaching forward, you might find that you're able to come a little bit more forward than you did at the beginning of the class. Oh, still feeling a bit stiff though. Lovely. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe doing that a couple of times, just chin to chest. If the band's all too much, just let it go and just do it in a nice, relaxed way. And coming back up. All right, so we're going to just do one more version of the half roll down, and then we're going to be coming on to our tummies. But if you can't manage tummy, Lillian, then I will show you something else you can do, my darling. Okay, for our half roll down this time, you're going to put the arch underneath the ball of one foot and hold it with the opposite hand. It's just resting on the shin. So have the feet level, and then we're going to come into half roll down. If you feel unstable, then that hand can be down. So just coming into half roll down, and then lift the leg and straighten it. And then the hand that's holding down, if you can lift it, then that comes up, and then twist to the side, sweep that hand down, and then forward. And sweep down and forward. If you feel that you can lift the leg up and the arm up in the middle, then please do. And one more, and we'll come up. Well done, looking very elegant, ladies. Come up and bend the knee and roll forward. Okay, so you turn that into a stretch, so you've got one leg bent, maybe out to the side slightly, and just reaching down that outstretched leg. All right, let's switch over. So other foot this time. If you can hear snoring, it's the dog. he's got his legs akimbo, literally stretched. He's just had a haircut, so it leaves nothing to the imagination. And he's snoring. It's not a pretty sight. All right, with that in mind, let's do the other side. Lovely. Onto that. So opposite hand holding the ring. Come up, lift the leg if you can. That lovely oblique twist, and up and forward, and again just stretch down that leg, other leg out to the side and bend. We're going to go back to the first leg, and what we're going to do is do exactly like we've just done, but the change up will be to swap hands and then do the other side. So you're changing sides each time, aiming to do 3 each side. Okay, so you're just swapping hands. So round the ball of the foot again. You can do this seated if you want, with just your leg loose in a loose tabletop position. Okay, you don't have to be rolled down or the leg straight. So opposite arm, and then switch, arms come up, and other side. It's actually a really nice stretch, this one, as well as working the abs. But your back might be feeling it at the moment, so You can either come up and over, or in a bridge style, perhaps see if you can just switch legs. Bring the other one down. Oh, nearly went then. That would have been funny. And let's do the other side, if you don't feel the need to come up in between. Remember, try and raise the leg and the arm as you come to centre for an extra challenge. And at the end, just pop the ring down and then roll over the knees. And stay there for a good couple of breaths. Have the soles of the feet together and still rounded over. Relax shoulders if you can, just a little bit of pressure above the knees for the inner thighs. Roll back up and almost push the chest forward at the top so you feel a nice stretch in that lower back. Round down again. You can change the leg position. Push the chest forward at the top. And again. Okay, so we're going to roll onto our tummies. Is that a no-go for you, Lillian? No. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is we're going to be doing a Cobra. So you can actually do a Cobra just by bending your upper back like that. Okay, so either on your knees or standing. And then with the other exercise I'm going to do, I'll show you that as well. Right, so it's your choice now, ladies. This band needs to be as far away from you as possible for the first one. And you can either place both hands on the bottom ring, the one, the handle that's on the floor, or you can put both hands on the top. So you might need to bring the ring further in for that. And I've just got one hand over the other, or you can have them side by side. All right. Now we'll do our Cobra as we always do, and Lillian can be doing this standing, and that's just starting to curl from the coccyx first, so you're not putting any pressure on the arms. Start curling up through the back of the waist to the lower back, and at this point you just use the ring to come a little bit higher. It's a lot more intense than a normal Cobra, so I haven't lifted my tummy off the floor, only just lifted my lower back and then come down. So if that's too much, you just put your hands down to the bottom handle and you do a Cobra as we normally would again in that position, less intense. Okay. And down. We're going to do 3. And then keeping your hands where you feel comfortable. For you, Lillian, you don't even need the ring for this. You can do legs back, standing. We're going to do the same, ladies. What we're going to do is press on the ring, just lift the chest slightly, and then lift alternate legs which are wide into the corners of your mat. Or you totally keep the head down, either holding onto the ring or not. But for Lillian, you're just standing, hun, and you're just leaning forward and doing, I would do the same leg. It's too much to do alternate. Anyone feeling it in the back, rest your head on your hands and only do the legs. You can also do both legs, might feel easier, especially if you've got your hand on the top handle. And then come down. Wiggle the bottom side to side. Come onto all fours. And arch the back, dropping the head. Okay, if you've had enough of the ring for now, just leave it where it is, or if you want to use it, we're going to do one leg opposite arm in this position, so an exercise you're very familiar with. So if you're going to do the ring, again it needs to be straight down, not at an angle or it'll slip away from you. And then have your other hand pretty much with the fingertips near the ring. Okay, bring the opposite leg to the ring back, the core switched on, make sure the hip doesn't tuck under, and just the same thing as we normally do, lift and lower that leg. Okay. Bring that leg back down. You might want your knees a little bit wider. You might not feel comfortable, so just see how you feel. You might want to bring the ring in a little bit. We're going to stay in this position and see if you can lift the other hand. Only a tiny bit off the floor if necessary. It's really, really hard. Your other arm will be shaking. Well done. Okay. I was going to say about doing... No, I don't think we will. No. Stick to that. Let's do the other side. Alright, so other hand. Just doing the legs first of all. So opposite leg, up and down. And you can press down on your ring as well as lifting the leg. So lift and lower, and then you can press down on the ring so you can feel the core. Lovely. Bring the knee in and see what you can do with the ring. So it might be easier, like rather than have the ring to the side like this, it might be easy to turn it so you're looking at the circle. Just play around with the positioning of it. I have got my bottom slightly pushed back as well. I think it's near enough impossible to have your bottom above your knees and do this. Well done. Doing a grand job. Ditch the ring and come to a seated position. Okay, we're going to come onto our back now, Lillian, so you can do all of these in the chair, hun. I've tested them out. You can do all of them. And